all of our friends here in the Permian Basin who have been so good to us over the years, every time that we've come to these communities, making us feel at home. Though there are 4 hours driving time distance between us, it feels like there is no distance at all. And especially today, in the wake of this tragedy in your community, in our larger community of West Texas, I come just to let you know that we are with you. And unfortunately, we share this experience in El Paso. A month ago, 22 people killed, dozens more grievously injured by a gunman with a military-grade weapon, taking the lives of innocent human beings, attempting to live their life in one of the most beautiful places on planet Earth. Unfortunately, we share this bond now in the wake of this massacre, of this tragedy, of these deaths, of this pain. But I know that we also share a fierce pride in who we are, a determination not to be defined by this act of terror or violence or hatred, but instead by the way in which we will overcome this and define ourselves to the rest of the country. As the pastor said, this is no way for the rest of the country to be introduced to Odessa or Midland or the Permian Basin. Instead, they will know you. They will know us by how we have overcome this, transcended the pain, the hurt, the grief, shown the rest of the country that we can meet violence, we can meet hatred, we can meet this death with a commitment to one another and to each other's lives. What I just saw now at the medical center in Odessa was inspiring. Frontline staff who dropped everything that they were doing the day before yesterday to take care of those at their greatest moments of need. Doctors, nurses, the custodial staff, everyone who was there doing everything that they could to save those lives that were presented to them. And we met some of the survivors there. A police officer, gravely wounded, with his wife at his bedside. When I asked him, what's next for them, how are they doing, how can we help? They said that there are people who are worse hurt than they were, and that we should direct our attention to them. To those other families who we also met, the mother of a 15-year-old girl whose life was taken, her 18-year-old son injured, doing everything he could to protect his sister from that killer, a truck driver who was returning to San Diego, shot in the leg, may lose that leg depending on how this next surgery goes. Others living their lives, trying to live a life that was almost taken from them, all of them showing an indomitable spirit, an ability to come through, brought through in part by the love and the strength and the courage of this community. And I know that it goes beyond our prayers, though those prayers are incredibly important, and let us all commit to continue to pray. Beyond our thoughts, and everyone in El Paso, Texas, is thinking about everyone here in Odessa and in Midland today and every day going forward. But it is our action that this community and the country needs at this moment. I just met a young woman whose brother was killed in front of his children, in front of his wife. And she said, I am so angry right now, and I need this to change. She needs all of us to make sure that this changes, and it's going to require all of us. As I was leaving the hospital, a gentleman approached me, and he said, I want to thank you for coming to our community today. I disagree with you on almost every position you hold. I disagree with you when it comes to guns, but I know that there's something wrong in this country. I want to make sure that we work together. I don't know that we're ever going to see eye to eye, but the fact that we can have that conversation is an important starting point. The fact that we can try harder to make sure that guns do not get into the hands of those who should not have them. That we think about the kinds of guns, including military-style weapons, that were designed to kill people as effectively, as efficiently, in as great a number as possible on battlefields and not in our communities, not on our streets, not in our Walmarts. We can have that conversation, and we can take the action that should necessarily follow. Not as Democrats, not as members of unions, not as Republicans, but as Americans first, as human beings, before we are anything else. And so, in the most human way possible, know that your fellow West Texans in El Paso are with you today and every day going forward. Last night, almost a month to the day from our mass shooting, we had this beautiful concert. Khalid came back to El Paso, Texas. Matthew McConaughey flew into town. They ensured that their foundations were raising money for families who needed that help right now. 9,000 people in the Don Haskins Arena. And we began the evening directing our attention, our focus, our love, and our strength towards you. We said in the same way that we described ourselves after August 3rd as El Paso Strong, we need to think about those who are Permian Strong. And then as I was repeating that story in the hospital halls today, someone came up to me and they said, from now on, we are West Texas Strong. We are with you right now. We are with you going forward. I hope to see you again soon under better circumstances. When you're in El Paso, you have a home with us, brothers and sisters who've been through this with you. And know this, we are going to overcome this. We are going to transcend this. We are going to come together as a country and be good to one another at the moment that it counts for more than anything else at any other time in this country's history. That's us. That is our opportunity. Let's make sure that we rise to the challenge. Thank you all for having us out here today. Thank you.
The young lady is talking about having seen was sitting right here earlier, whose brother was killed. He was talking about